Now, ultimately, this might also be controversial, but
Now get ready to travel back in time and enter the animated world of Disney. We are on our way to Disney's Pop Century Resort and Disney's Art of Animation Resort.
I stayed here recently and I'm spilling all the details. Starting with the resort rundown. Now, this is considered a value resort at Disney World. Disney World has 3 tiers of resorts with value, moderate, deluxe, and they go up incrementally in price. So this is a value resort, meaning that is on the less expensive end. And there are 4 different sections here at Art of Animation themed around classic Disney movies. We got Lion King, Little Mermaid, Cars, and Finding Nemo. Now we'll get more into the rooms in a little bit, and I have some thoughts on the rooms. But there's larger than life characters and theming all around that makes you feel like you're actually in the movies, which is so fun. Even apart from all of the awesome theming, there are a couple things that make this resort really unique as a Disney resort and especially as a value resort. And one of those is that you have access to the Disney Skyliner, which is a game changer. So you can use the Skyliner to get to Epcot and Hollywood Studios, as well as connection at Caribbean Beach and Riviera. Because when you enter the Skyliner, you go to the main Skyliner hub, which is at Caribbean Beach, and then you'll transfer over to either Epcot or Hollywood Studios, depending on where Disney Day takes you. Something else that makes this resort very unique is that there are family suites here, meaning that it's not just the single room that you get at most Disney resorts. These are family suites, but at value resort prices. 1-bedroom suites that sleep up to 6 people with, of course, some fun theming inside. That's something that is pervasive throughout all the rooms. Now, most of the buildings here, all 3 of them of the Cars, Lion King, and Finding Nemo are these family suites. The only building without the family suites is here in the Little Mermaid section. This section has rooms that are like your typical standard hotel rooms. These rooms are a little bit smaller. They don't have some of the other features of the family suites, and they sleep about 4 people. But except they're a little different than other value resort rooms, at least right now, because the other value resort rooms have been updated, and these are a little bit old school. I wore my purple and green for you, girl. Now, the rooms for the family suites are about $430. I mean, it'll depend on the season, but that's roughly what they're costing, which is definitely a huge savings compared to some of the other larger rooms available at Disney World. Now, the standard rooms here in the Little Mermaid section start at around $190. We ended up paying $220 for our recent stay, which does factor a little bit into my overall opinion of staying at this resort. One thing to note about staying in the Little Mermaid section, i.e. having a standard room versus a family suite, is that it is farther away from the main area of the resort. There is a parking lot right near the building, which would help if you have a car, but if you don't, definitely plan some extra time for transportation. But you do have this lovely walking path to the Skyliner. Another unique aspect of this resort is that some buildings are pet friendly. It is the only value resort that is pet friendly and one of only 4 resorts at Disney World, morning, that allows pets. As a first-time dog owner, I cannot wait to bring our Nora to her first Disney staycation. In terms of transportation, we've talked about the Skyliner, which is super efficient. When I was staying here, we walked onto the Skyliner practically every time. Although it will get backed up a bit more at the beginning of the day and at the end of the day as people are leaving the parks or trying to get to the parks for early entry. This resort has early entry just like every Disney World resort does, which means you can get into the theme park, any day, 30 minutes early before it officially opens. It's pretty sweet, but note that everyone else can do that too, so plan accordingly when you're getting to the park and getting on transportation. Bus transportation can be challenging sometimes, especially at the value resorts, and as self-proclaimed queen of the value resorts, I have stayed at the All-Stars literally dozens of times. I can tell you that bus transportation can definitely be hit or miss, especially at the end of the night. There can be some very long lines, but we got really lucky when we stayed here and didn't have any issues with buses. They even had backup buses standing by ready to go. Disney was on it. As we are making our way into the Cars section, let's talk about the rooms. The family suites here include a kitchenette, a separate bedroom with close the door, separate bedroom with a queen bed, 2 bathrooms, and then there's the main living area that has a fold down Murphy bed and a sleeper sofa. So ultimately it can sleep 6 people. Now for the Little Mermaid rooms, i.e. the standard rooms, I really like that it felt old school 90s Disney, even though this resort was actually built in 2013, but it felt very old school 90s. But there were a few upgrades to the traditional value resort rooms, like removing the carpet and of course adding some fun theming. Yay, they're so cute. Now to be totally honest, My room specifically looked like it had been, let's say, well loved. There were like some scuffs on furniture, just some things and markings. Like, you could definitely tell that like people had enjoyed making magical memories here. So totally get that. Although the one thing that did bother me was that there was a picture of Prince Eric and it was crooked. And at first I thought that maybe it was just like decorative that way, but no, it was just crooked. I tried to fix it and it just would not go back. So what I did actually love was that there's 2 full beds there, as opposed to the all-star value resorts, which have gotten updated to include a full bed and then the pull down Murphy bed, which I'm actually a bigger fan of having 2 complete separate beds. That maintenance cast member just stopped what he was doing to tell me have a magical day. Oh, I didn't catch his name, but Disney cast members, they are the Disney difference. Price is what gives me a little bit of pause, which I'll talk more about at the end of the video when we're weighing the pros and cons of staying here. Had the USB outlets, had an actual table and chairs that stayed the whole time, which was nice for storing things. You could store things under the bed. There was a separate curtained off area for the bathroom, which is very old school. And then the actual like shower room itself, so immersive. So many fun little details. This resort is full of fun fact and little hidden details, and I love me a Disney detail. This walkway here, which runs the entire length of the resort, is full of little fun facts. I love hanging out at a Disney resort and doing all the activities, and there is no shortage of fun things to do here. Apparently they even have dance classes. Big part of the activities are the pools. There is a pool here in the car section, the Cozy Cone pool. There is one over in the Little Mermaid section like we saw, the Flippin' Fins pool. And then the largest one is in the Finding Nemo section, which is called the Big Blue Pool. And it's not just the largest pool here at Art of Animation, it's actually the largest pool in all of Disney World. Now, back in the day, it had speakers underwater, which I guess it still technically has the speakers, but it used to actually play music under the water. Now, I didn't get a chance to hop in the pool this trip, and I've read that they no longer play the music or like the characters speaking underwater, but still a fun fact to know and impress your family with your Disney trivia knowledge. All of the poolside activities happen at the Big Blue Pool, so like the poolside dance party and games and other recreation activities happen there, where the other 2 pools, like the Cozy Cone back here, are more laid back. And this one even has Cozy Cone cabanas, which are free and available on a first come, first serve. Free cabanas at Disney? Who would have thunk? There's also the splash pad, playground, and also the walking trail with fun Disney signage, walking trail to fun other resort. Now the trail is almost 1.5 miles long in its entirety, just in case you didn't get your steps in at the parks. There are hidden details, hidden Mickeys, and just fun things to explore all around this resort. Take photo ops with the larger-than-life characters. There's trivia at the pool bar, which I don't know of another Disney resort that does trivia at the pool bar. There are pool games, movies, and something I do every single Disney resort stay. These paw prints are for the campfire. There is one here and across the way. Roasting the marshmallows is free. I love a free Disney thing, but they also have some s'mores kit, which I always do when I'm staying at a Disney resort. This really does feel like you just stepped into the movie. There are over 2,500 sculpted icons around this resort, which is absolutely incredible, including these guys. And even as you move from area to area, the landscape changes. The theming is just so good. The lobby here is incredible. This is the main check-in area, so you can come to check in for your room, or you can also check in using the My Disney Experience app. But this is where you can find things like bell service, or if you need to speak to a cast member. The lobby is also in the main building of the resort, where you can also find the gift shop and the quick service location. Now, the lobby itself is absolutely chock full of details and is really, really cool and thought out. Now, this whole resort is a celebration of animation, and this lobby here shows the process of animation. So this back wall right here shows concept art of beloved Disney characters. Concept art is when animators are actually deciding what is the character ultimately going to look like. So you can see different versions of popular Disney characters that maybe look a little bit different. And so it's really cool to see the evolution of where these characters started in the concept phase to where they ended up as iconic beloved characters. But not only that, this wall actually represents the transformation of animation, with this far section over here starting in black and white and then transitioning into color, showcasing the transformation of animation from idea to final concept. And there's a really unique chandelier back here, which is storyboard chandelier. Storyboards are what Disney used to use when they did hand-drawn animation to plan out what the movie would look like. They would draw on little sheets of paper different key scenes from the movies, and then they put it up on a big board. So they would draw out the story, put it on a board, storyboard. And this chandelier has some of those pieces of paper from the storyboarding sessions of these iconic movies. But what's even cooler is that some of these pieces are autographed by people who were part of bringing this movie to life. The Ink and Paint store here has classic Disney merchandise that you can find elsewhere on property. It also is a really big gift shop, so you might be able to find a couple of extra things you might not be able to find elsewhere, including resort-specific merchandise like these Loungefly bags, shirt, and this mug showing off that awesome concept art wall from out in the lobby. There's a little section here in case you forgot any essentials like medicine or toiletries. You can find this at every Disney gift shop, but helpful to know that this is here. There is also a snack wall with Disney snacks and then a couple of non-Disney snack offerings as well. Now, another really cool thing about this gift shop is you can see there's all these paint canisters around the top of the gift shop. And the name of the gift shop, the Ink and Paint, it's a reference to the unsung ladies of Disney animation. That's because back in the day when they did hand-drawn 2D Disney animation, the animators, mostly men, would start by animating the character or the sketch, and then that sketch would be sent over to the ink and paint department, where the department of mostly women would go through and do the outline of the sketch, add color, and basically transform an idea, a sketch, into the beloved scenes and characters that we know today. So shout out to the ladies of Disney animation. Connected to the gift shop is the quick service restaurant Landscape of Flavors. They build your own salad and kind of meat station over here. Looks like it's still breakfast time. Oh, and one really cool thing about the breakfast here is there aren't Mickey waffles. Normally I'd be bummed about that because I love me a Mickey waffle, but there's something even cooler here, which are Disney character waffles. And it's one of the only places at Disney World where you can get a Simba waffle or a Little Mermaid waffle. There's the quintessential pizza and pasta line over here that is at most Disney value resorts. There are traditional American hot foods like hamburgers and hot dogs over in this bay. And just like the resort itself, there are different sections of the food court themed to the different buildings around Art of Animation. The Landscape of Flavors food court is your option. They've got something for everybody from picky eaters to more adventurous eaters, even vanilla lattes. There are even specialty desserts. Night one here at Art of Animation, and had to top it off with this very cute sundae. It's called It's Grubbin' Time Sundae because it is Lion King themed. I love it here. I used to come to this resort specifically for this food court because it was such a step above anything else. Honestly though, it's not quite where it used to be, but still overall pretty good food. But if you're looking for something different, you could head across the bridge to Pop Century, see what they're offering, or quick Skyliner away to Caribbean Beach or Riviera, which specifically has some of the best food at Disney World. So that easy access to other resorts makes this a huge advantage for staying at Art of Animation. But what are some of the other pros and cons? Should you book this for your next Disney trip? Let's talk about who this resort is for. Kids, or kids at heart. Anyone who loves the larger-than-life characters and really wants to feel immersed in a Disney story. It doesn't get much more whimsical or fun than this. It's like full-on Disney immersion. Also, families. If you are traveling with several people, it might make more sense economically to stay in a family suite than book individual rooms somewhere else. And if you're wanting to spend most of your time at Epcot and Hollywood Studios, this could also be the resort for you because you have that really quick, easy access through the Skyliner. It makes it so simple to get to those theme parks. But who is this not for? Anyone who doesn't like the Skyliner, first off, because that is the only way to get to 2 of the 4 theme parks. So if you don't want to take the Skyliner, you're going to have to find alternate routes. Also, if you want a little bit more of a subtle Disney experience, or anyone traveling with you does, this probably isn't the resort for you because everything is very large and in your face. So you've got to really like that kind of style. If you want something a little bit more reserved, maybe look elsewhere. Now, ultimately, this might also be controversial, but I would say if you are not staying in the family suites, if you're just looking for a standard room, I would maybe consider looking somewhere else. Now, this resort is awesome. It is so much fun, but it's also pretty pricey for a standard room at a value resort. Yes, there is a Skyliner access, which is a major plus, but I could have stayed at a moderate resort like Coronado Springs for less money. While this is the most expensive value resort, it's also for sure the coolest. This info can help you as you're planning your next Disney trip, but gotta know what is going on in the parks because there is always something new happening at Disney World, which is why I made this video here where I break down the latest, because you do not want to be arriving at Disney World missing out on something important. So go check it out. I'll meet you over there, and as always, I'm Molly. I'll meet you on Main Street. Enjoy a vanilla latte.